Good morning. Thanks for taking a minute and visiting with me here at the chapel. I've been praying for you this morning, and I'm believing that you're going to have the best week you've ever had in your life. As we start on Monday, I'm believing that all of God's promises, that all of His intents that He has for you, because He really does want your highest and best to be made manifest in your daily lives. The Bible says that He thinks good thoughts about you, that He has a hopeful future for you, that He never sleeps and never slumbers, but that He is always intentionally manifesting His goodwill for you. And as we begin Monday, sometimes it's too easy to get overwhelmed by what might be taking place in our lives this week. And just a quick word this morning. God is not overwhelmed by the things that you're facing. God is not frustrated. There's no such thing as God being frustrated at heaven. And He's wanting heaven to come down and be manifest in your life. And so I just want to encourage you that one of the ways that we can see all of God's goodness manifested in our world is to change our thinking. To bring our negative thinking, our skepticisms, our cynicisms, our anxiety under the control of how God thinks about us. Paul says we demolish, destroy those thoughts and those habits that are contrary or opposed to God's thoughts for us. That we can actually replace those thoughts of fear and anxiety and worry and not enough with thoughts of God's goodness and of His peace and of His mercy. And as we begin to think the way God thinks about us, for us, that His plans, His purposes, His presence and power will manifest in our lives. That if we want our lives to be restored, if we want our lives to be rebuilt and reshaped and reformed so that we reflect and become the people of God, we have to take responsibility for our attitudes, for our thinking. And we have to replace those destructive thoughts with those thoughts that God has for us. Just remember, God is not frustrated with you. He's not sitting in heaven wringing His hands and rubbing His head going, what am I going to do? No, God has already sent His Son, and His Spirit lives in your heart. You have the mind of a genius living on the inside of you. And as you start out this week, I want to encourage you to think good thoughts, to think His joy and His peace and His mercy, and to allow those to wash through you every hour of every day this week. And just see, just test me, if you will, test God, and see what happens when you begin to think more in the terms of God's goodness and generosity and of His mercy, His grace, manifesting in your life. Take control over your thought life, because as you think restorative thoughts, restoration can manifest in your life in a much more powerful way. I love you. I've been praying for you this morning, been believing that today and every day is a beautiful day, a masterpiece, if you will, of how God is shaping and reshaping your life so that you can enjoy all the benefits of being a child of God. I love you. I'm in the prayer chapel. Try to be here 3 or 4 times a day and say something to you that what we could be praying for you. If you have a prayer request, please drop it my way. I'd be glad to hold up your need in prayer and believe God for a miracle in your life. So I'm Quintin. I pastor at the Father's house. I serve as the bishop over the communion, and I love you. And my major calling is to pray for you. So in the name of Christ, may He richly bless you today, and may He make His face shine upon you, and may you see His peace and His mercy shining into your life. God bless.